This picture took me about 2 dives, a little more than 2 dives, and it was in the 3rd dive that immediately the fish recognized me and thought, oh yeah, that's not a predator. And he allowed me to come very close, and within minutes I had this picture. If you get a chance and picture the eye of a fish, yeah, that's fantastic. And this is funny because this is the anus of a starfish. At this very moment, the main problem with the oceans is that they're getting emptier and emptier. If we don't do anything, then we face one of the biggest disasters in history of mankind.
Dos Winkel, diver, photographer and conservationist, revered for his close-ups of fish eyes, fins or skin, no larger than a few millimeters, enlarged to a degree that they become abstract works of art. His maiden dive was in 1985 and heralded his addiction to the underwater world. Thousands of photographs and 25 years on, he is a passionate advocate for the preservation of healthy oceans. He travels the globe with his exhibitions, using his photos as weapons in the fight against the destruction of marine life.
If you look at the predators only, about 90% of all predatory fish is gone. Then from all the other commercial fish species, almost 80% is gone. The best thing to do to solve the problem is to quit eating fish. People who don't dive have no idea how beautiful the underwater world is. The biodiversity is so immense and you see the most amazing creatures. What you can see underwater is art, top art.
Everywhere Dos dives, he is faced with devastation. Taking a passive stance was not an option. He seizes every opportunity to use his photographs and tell the story of a world that is on the verge of vanishing.
We're destroying the underwater ecosystems in a speed which is almost unthinkable. Scientists found out that if we continue fishing the way we are doing now, in 30 years from now, the oceans will be empty. There will be no more edible fish left.
Is it conceivable that the oceans will be empty in 30 years? If so, we humans are responsible. 2 young marine biologists set out to do research for us, Marianne van Mierlo and Barbara van Genne.
Well, I studied for 5 years and now I can call myself a Master of Science in marine biology. But I never knew that the problems in the oceans were this serious.
If this is all true, it's really, really shocking, and I'm really eager to find out more about this.
In this film, we sum up the facts. Why our seas and oceans are in great danger. We find this survey by the University of British Columbia. Fish stocks in the North Atlantic Ocean in 1900. Megatons of fish in the sea. The next image is 100 years later. Nearly everything is gone.
Maar ik vind het ook wel schokkend dat hier gewoon echt bijna niks meer is. Terwijl hier heel veel...
This shows the fish in the North Atlantic in 1900, where there was about 10 tons per square kilometer on the shelves. And next, the same in 2000 when we had essentially reduced all the fish to 1/10 or less of their biomass. So we went from this to that in 100 years.
Professor Daniel Pauly has been publishing about the effects of global overfishing for years.
We have a situation where we are already starting many decades losing. We're losing fish population at an increasing rate.
Pauly is one of the most renowned researchers concerning the state of the oceans. For his work, he has received honorary doctorates from universities in Greece, Belgium, Canada, Portugal and the Netherlands.
The process of destruction of the ocean has long begun.
Where and when did things go wrong? People have been fishing for centuries. The Netherlands, for example, made a bundle in the 16th and 17th centuries with herring fishing, and the Dutch played a major role in the whaling industry also. Only when a whaling quota was set in 1946 did this form of hunting end for the Netherlands. It marked the first international commitment restricting the catch of a sea animal. From the 1970s, a limit was imposed on fish catches for member states of the EU. It became apparent that the sea was not an inexhaustible source of bounty. But despite the quota, there was an upsizing of ships. The fishing areas expanded, and technological instruments such as sonar meant that fish had no place to hide. Since catch quota were introduced, the annual fish catch consistently exceeds what scientists deem wise. On average, the European Union sets a quota that is no less than 48% higher than scientists recommend.
The Ministry of Fisheries in most countries is acting on behalf of fleet owners of the fishery. They're acting on the perceived benefit of the fisheries, of the fishers, which are always short-term.
Since the 1950s, global fish catches have quadrupled. We take almost 100 million tons of fish from the sea every year.
Most fisheries in the world continue only because we subsidize them. In other words, we give them money to go catch fish. Subsidizing a fishery means to encourage the fishers to go after fish that are so rare that it's not worth fishing them economically. The moment we decide to subsidize fisheries, we encourage destruction.
St. John's, capital of Newfoundland on the east coast of Canada, famous for its rich fishing grounds. For centuries, this was the epicenter of the cod fishing industry.
When he thinks about tomorrow, he fares for his son. Oh, where are the codfish? Oh, what has gone wrong?
Hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Yes.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Welcome, come in, come in.
Pius Coombs himself was a cod fisherman.
Oh, look at this.
And this is all codfish here, and those were huge codfish, and those ones you can see. That's me actually holding them.
So it's half your size.
That's half the size of me.